All right, so what you're gonna do with the waistband is you're gonna grab the elastic. I want you to wrap it around your waist, make sure it stays nice and packed neatly, and wrap it around the waist or the area where you normally wear your pants, okay? So I'm gonna wrap it around my waist. And then whenever I'm doing this part, I wanna make sure that there's some stretch to it too, because that stretch is what's gonna help hold up the pants, okay? So I'm gonna stretch it, and then again, I'm like overlapping it about an inch. And so I'm gonna cut it right there. All right, so again, for that last step, I overlapped it about an inch across from each other, because that inch, that's how it's gonna look whenever we have it in our waistband, okay? So next, you need to grab a safety pin, and I have safety pins up here in the blue jar. You just gotta twist it off, take one out. Try to find a large one too, just because the larger it is, the easier it is to push through your waistband in the PJ shorts or pants. And then next, what you're gonna do is you're gonna find that opening that was in your waistband, the opening right there. I'm gonna take my safety pin and I'm going to feed through the waistband all the way around. And so as you're doing this, I'm pushing the safety pin through the fabric, and then I'm pulling it, okay? And so to make sure also, to make sure that we have the, or this is why we need to make sure that the seam allowances are ironed down, because whenever you get to the side areas, if they're not ironed down, if they're like all bunched together, it's gonna get really hard to go past those side seams, okay? And so again, I'm just going to keep pushing my safety pin through the waistband. Making sure I'm finding the opening for my seam allowance areas. And as I'm doing this too, I want to make sure that the end of my elastic is still hanging out. I don't want it to get lost in the waistband, because again, at the end, I need them both hanging out. Okay. Whoops, and just what I did right now, just make sure your safety pin, try not to get it to come undone, because then it's going to start sticking in fabric. Okay, so I'm almost back at the entrance. Let me see if I can, nope, one more push and pull. All right, so I'm back at the same spot I left off on, okay? So real quick, before you go to your sewing machine, again, we're gonna be overlapping these just like this. Overlapping it just like that, about an inch or so overlapping. But before you sew it, I want you to make sure that your waistband is going the same direction and it's not all like twisted in your pajama shorts, okay? So this one feels good. In fact, let me do that part just so I make sure it lays flat. Okay. All right, so it feels like it's going in all the same direction. So next you're gonna sew just these two areas together.